Welcome to Student Spotlight, a presentation of College Success Arizona. This program features the hardworking college students who have earned scholarships from College Success Arizona and are pursuing their educational goals and career passions. Today on Student Spotlight, we interview Yudidt Nonthe Sanchez.
I was born in Phoenix, Arizona, and raised in Mesa, Arizona.
And where did you graduate from high school?
I graduated from Westwood High School,
In what year?
2016.
And what are you doing now so far as college?
I am going to Mesa Community College and majoring in human nutrition.
And how old are you currently?
I'm 18 years old.
Mesa Community College, majoring in nutrition. Would you anticipate moving on to ASU, U of A, NAU?
Yeah, transferring to ASU to get my undergrad in human nutrition, obviously get my associates from MCC, my associates in arts first, and then going to ASU.
And you said undergrad in nutrition. Do you want to go on and get a degree beyond your undergrad, master's?
Yes. My plan is either go to medical school or a master's program to be a physician assistant or medical school. Either one. Haven't decided 100% yet which one I'm going to pick, but definitely in the medical field.
And this interest in being a doctor or a PA, where does that come from? Is that lifelong?
Yeah, it's definitely been lifelong. When I was around 15 years old, I went through a bad depression and anxiety phase, and I wasn't emotionally well because I didn't have a lot of friends in high school, and so I started to get help through therapy, and then I started to get more involved in my high school, and my therapist, she helped me a lot, and so I just felt like opening up to her was really helping me, and I kind of wanted to help others as well, so I want to be able to, learn more about nutrition, because the reason why I was really, depressed also was because I was always, eating stuff, like the junk food, and so that was really bringing me, happiness at the time, because I felt like, if I'm hungry and I'm eating, it's going to make me feel good. But really, it was damaging my health and my emotional, mental health. And so I want to be able to learn more about nutrition and the importance of what you put in your body. And I just kind of got into it. I just felt like, being a physician was going to be what I wanted to be because of what had happened to me. And I just want to, be able to help others.
So you're saying your experience was not only related to the amount of food, but maybe more importantly, the kind of food you were eating, junk food versus whole food or more natural foods?
Yeah.
Ultimately, do you see yourself staying in Phoenix, in the Phoenix area?
Ultimately, yes, I do see myself staying in the Phoenix area because there's already an underserved community here, a large population of Hispanics, and as well as there isn't enough doctors for all of the population of Arizona. So Arizona is in a sort of, not a crisis, but sort of they don't have enough doctors to meet every single person in Arizona. If there was to be, if every person in Arizona was to go to a doctor, there wouldn't be enough doctors to go around because there's so many people here and there isn't enough physicians to help either any kind of medical doctor, any specialist. There isn't enough in Arizona. And so I know that a school, a master's program for PA has a sort of, when you graduate, you have to stay in Arizona and you can graduate, but your degree would only apply in Arizona, your certificate, because they want you to be here because, there isn't enough physicians to go around.
You just recently graduated from high school, transitioning into community college and then on to ASU at some point. Talk about that transition, because that can be a difficult one for some people going from high school to college.
Definitely, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but it has been difficult, of course. I was in the early college program at Mesa Community College for 2 years, so I have already been going to classes on Saturdays and summers for 2 years during being a high school student and handling college classes at the same time and being involved in school. My senior year of high school is definitely the most stressful year I've ever had yet, and I definitely think that my senior year was way more stressful than my first semester of college that I just finished. But the early college program definitely helped me prepare for college because I already had, been in a classroom with a professor, and I decided to stay at Mesa Community College because I had already had that great connection, and I just already felt comfortable, and I didn't want to leave a place where I was already comfortable, which is why I wanted to go to Mesa Community College, continue going. But that definitely helped me, but it has been hard, trying to multitask, keep myself busy, and decide what I want to do, because there's a lot of things that I can do, like, programs or stuff to get involved, and it's really hard to decide which ones are priority because I can't do everything, obviously.
And it's early on, but can you say what has been the best part of college so far?
The best part of college has been the teachers, the professors. They are so kind and so loving, and they really care about their students. And so I think meeting them on a personal level, like through the classroom, and just connecting with them has definitely been the best thing. Just going to school and knowing that someone cares about you and your grade, and feeling a small classroom size, and just being surrounded by your classmates and learning every day has been the best thing.
And you earned the scholarship from College Success Arizona, which provides up to $6,000 per year for educational expenses. It also provides what we call a success advisor, basically an academic advisor. In your case, your success advisor is Robert Davis. Can you talk about Robert's role in your life?
Yeah, so I first met Robert when I was at the first meeting of College Success Arizona, the informational meeting. I saw him there, and he was one of the speakers. And so I knew who he was because I was paying very close attention to all of the speakers who were there and who were part of the CSA team. So I first met him there, and then I was like at the first orientation, and so then we got to meet each other. And so we've been meeting like a couple times at my college, and he's definitely helped me. The funny thing is that we're both twins, and we didn't know about it until our last meeting of the last semester. I found out that he was a twin, a fraternal twin, and I was a twin as well. And so we were like, oh my gosh, we're twins, and we didn't even know that we were twins, and we were just laughing because, like, I don't know, I mean, being a twin is pretty much a big part of both of our lives, but I think it was funny how we just found out. And then we both play instruments. That was pretty cool to know that we both have like that thing in common. So something that I was talking about to him was being more involved in my music life, because I haven't really been playing the violin as much, being so busy. So I definitely want to keep that. I don't want to lose that. And so definitely that connection between music and knowing that playing your instrument is fun, and I need to take time out of the day to, at least play something, because I don't want to lose that ability. And so I think he's a great mentor. He's just, a friendly guy, and I think that I'm very blessed to have him in my life, and very blessed to be a CSA scholar.
So you're a twin?
Yeah, I am.
I feel a bit stupid, because when you first said Robert and I are twins, I'm like, how did you guys know your whole life? I thought you were like, you're Robert's twin. I'm like, that's amazing. You found.
No.
Then I realized that you were saying that Robert has a twin, and you have a twin sister.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So no, that's fine. I'm just giving you a hard time. So your twin sister, what is your twin sister? Is she in school with you, or because usually you always hear these stories that twins, they need to be together and they do a lot of the same things in life.
Well, yeah, sorry. What I was saying is that Robert has a twin, and that I have my own twin, and we just found out that we had twins, like our own twins. And that was funny because we didn't know that, and we were freaking out because we're like, oh my gosh, you have a twin. And like, I have a twin. Like, we related to that, the twin life. But yeah, my sister, she goes to Mesa Community College with me. She's a business major, and we're both on different paths. She likes different things. We're very different. And we're definitely both involved in different things as well, with different organizations as well. But she's my twin, and I'm a year old. I mean, I'm a minute older than her, so I'm the oldest twin by a minute.
So you are, but you're still by definition, you're the big sister, right? Even though it's only a minute. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. And you mentioned playing the violin. How long have you played the violin? How did that start?
I played the violin when I was in the 4th grade. I remember telling my dad that I really wanted to play, and my dad said, "Well, if you're going to play the violin, I'm not gonna have a quitter. So either you're gonna play for the rest of your life, being in school, or you're not going to play, because there's a lot of students that play the violin maybe 3 years, or maybe just in elementary school or just in high school, and then never play again." So my dad told me, if you're really serious about this, you're going to have to put everything you have into it, because it's already going to take up a lot of time and money, and I'm not going to be wasting time and money. So either you want it or you don't. And I was like, I want to, Dad. Like, please let me. And so I really, told my dad, I kind of made him a promise that I wouldn't, quit. And so I haven't, obviously, but I've loved playing the violin. Me and my twin sister both play, and so we've been in the same orchestra class pretty much all our lives, from elementary school to junior high to high school. We've had one class together, which was orchestra, and so that's really been fun. And so I really loved playing with my twin and playing in a group.
And earlier we talked a little bit about the financial aspect of the scholarship, up to $6,000 per year for educational expenses. Is that being a big help right now?
Yeah, it's definitely helped me financially. The senior year of my last year in high school, my senior year in high school, the beginning of it, I was freaking out, obviously, in my mind, stressing over how in the world I was going to pay for college. When I was around a sophomore, when I was in junior high, like 8th grade year, my 8th grade year in junior high, I remember my brother talking to me, and he was telling me how I was going to either be a good student or a bad student, and I was going to choose between two, because it was up to me. It wasn't up to anyone else. And he told me, my brother is a dreamer, and so he told me that at that time there wasn't anything for him available, anything set for his future to go to college, because he was a dreamer, obviously. But he told me, Dad's going to have to pay for my college, so there isn't going to be any money or any money left over for you and Abby, you guys. So either you're going to have to not go to college, or either you're going to go to college and get scholarships, because that's the only way Dad's going to be able to pay for it, because I'm going to want to go to school as well, hopefully. But there has to be something from you that you have to do it for you. And so I remember my brother telling me that I had to be the one to get involved and figure out how I'm going to pay for school, because my dad wasn't going to help me. And so that really pushed me to get involved and apply. And so when I found out about College Success Arizona, and I heard about the scholarship, I was very excited, and I was actually the first time that I told my dad about it to take me to the meetings. I had told him last minute, so he was kind of upset with me, because I was telling him to drive me all the way to Phoenix, literally late notice. But I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, this is really important, and I have to go to this meeting. This is important. I don't think you understand right now, but I have to go. And so my dad took me, and I'm so glad that he was able to take me. And now looking back, that was so important to attend that first meeting, because that sets the steps to continue the process of applying to the scholarship. But it's very important, because my dad, he works mainly works to provide for my family. And my brother, being a dreamer, it has been hard being able to help him pay for school, even though he does have permit to study in the U.S. with in-state tuition. That's definitely been a blessing, but it's still been hard. And so that really relieves a lot of stress on my family, and it relieves a lot of stress on me because I'm able to go to school and my dad's able to just work and not be as stressed or frustrated that he has to pay for my college. But he helps my brother out, which is the best thing that I think could ever happen as a family for us, that my brother's going to school and that he's getting in-state tuition. And so it's definitely been a huge blessing to have the scholarship, and has relieved a lot of stress, and has made my life easier and has definitely helped me continue my education.
And one final question, can you offer some advice for middle and high school students in Mesa and maybe other places listening to this who are considering their own path to college?
First thing, apply. I think a lot of students have the potential, or even just have the potential in them, but they're too scared. I think sometimes we think of, rejection, we think of failure, and sometimes those thoughts come into our head and we don't apply, or we get lazy. There's a lot of people that are very, very smart, very capable of doing anything, but it's just those fears. And so advice for high school students that I always give is apply, and just get those grades. It's definitely going to help you in your path, in your educational path, or whichever path that you want to take for your future job or career. Is just apply. It's just that first step. I mean, it's either you try or you don't, and that's going to set the stone of what's going to happen in your future. And so that's the best advice I could give someone.
Thank you, Yudidt, for the interview and for working so hard to make a difference in our community.